Welcome back to Jumpscare. I'm Betty.
And I'm Chad.
Today we have two exciting guests. I'm kind of like freaking out right now. We have Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp. If you guys don't know who she is, then I don't even know what to say. She also was in many other things, including Victor Crowley.
Yeah, that one was a pretty good one too. Got to spend a lot of time in the swamp in that one, didn't you?
And we loved it. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. And we also have Dave Sheridan, who is Officer Doofy in Scary Movie. He was also in Ghost World, Devil's Rejects. I mean, the list goes on and on. I can for both of you. You have an extensive work list, which is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I'm also in Victor Crowley.
That's right.
Yes, you are also in Victor Crowley.
You guys are in a lot of things together.
You know, it's funny because people don't typically know when Dave appears in a film because he's such a fantastic character actor. And I say it all the time to him and at conventions and amongst our friends. It's like he's just this hidden gem and he creates these marvelous characters and people don't even realize it's him. And he looks mostly like himself in Victor Crowley and people are still like, wait, you're in that? It's hilarious.
It is funny because we always, we tend to try to like have our tables together because we've made 28, films and TV shows together, Felissa and I, since Victor Crowley, because that was the first project we worked on and actually the project that we really met each other on, although we did meet each other at a convention in passing one time. But prior to that, Victor Crowley was the first time that we actually got to know each other and spend time because we were on set. But it's funny to hear them come up and talk about Victor Crowley. Oh, I loved it and this. And then she'll say, Dave was in it. And they'll just have this blank look and look at me and be like, So
they're like, wait, what?
Yeah, you're in it? What?
You guys are both going to be together this weekend at the Horrorville con, correct?
Oh, yeah. I'm super excited about that because first of all, we love coming to Florida. It's a great state.
I was just going to say, I'm kind of jumping out of my seat right now because I love Florida. I love everyone there. I love the weather. I love Disney World, Universal Studios. So we're kind of like, we get really crazy when we get to go to a con in Florida because we just want to hang out there all the time.
It seems to be a kind of a mecca for horror fans. I don't know. It's like, I guess It's just Florida, My radio station in the morning has a little contest that says Florida or not Florida, and they read the craziest news stories, and it's always Florida. It's like,
yeah. The answer to that is the crazier it is, the more it's Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's the convention scene like for you guys?
I'll let Felissa answer that because she, is the master of conventions, really. So.
Sorry, cut out for me for a second. What was the question?
What's the convention scene like for you guys? What kind of, how do you feel going to all the conventions and what kind of people do you meet there?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I could go on and on. So I'll try to keep it short and sweet. For me, it's like Disney World because it's the happiest place on earth. It's always a family reunion, no matter what city I travel to. It's the most beautiful, amazing people consume this genre, this community of just everyone loving horror movies and loving each other and being kind to each other and embracing. We're all friends. I can't explain it. I have the opportunity to connect with people and some of my best friends were made just going to conventions. So I feel really grateful to be there. And, it's just incredible. It's just, you go and everyone's having the best time. And again, we're talking about movies we love so much and that are so near and dear to us. So it's the greatest time I've ever spent in my life. Aside from being with my kids, I love being at conventions. We always have the best time, right, Dave?
I love being at conventions with Felissa because she has the best times. That was a joke. No, it's great. It's really, I would say it's almost this odd addiction that I have now.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Because, and it's similar to like, I've done, stand up and I've had a band and play in bands. And so getting in front of a live audience is always that kind of feedback. And then all of a sudden I found these conventions where it's not like a total blank audience that you're playing to a crowd. You're playing to an individual and you're actually interfacing and getting to like really meet and I hate to use the word fans, but you're getting
hate
to
that
meet,
word. It's my
I do.
word.
But because they become friends, new friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And from so many different backgrounds. And there is a obviously shared likening, especially when you're at a horror convention, but we also do Comic Cons and it's, or pop culture cons as well. So really the one thing I would say about the horror community is it reminds me a lot of when I was coming up in high school and college in the punk scene of everyone's accepted, you know what I mean? And by accepting everyone, it makes the group stronger, so I really enjoy it.
Yeah. If it wasn't for a horror convention, I would have never met Chad and had the life that I have now. That's how we actually met.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Oh my gosh. When did you meet?
It was
2015. It was 2015 at the Spooky Empire convention here.
Oh my gosh, we love Spooky. We love Spooky Empire.
Just to let you know, I met Felissa Rose 2015 at Days of the Dead in Atlanta. That was really the first time I met her. And then so there you go. So we shared an anniversary.
I can't remember, but no.
Yeah, she actually did. She did not remember, but I'm still going to dig up her business card because basically at the beginning of the convention, I walk around and just say hi to everyone else, before it starts. If I'm there on time, usually I'm not. So, but it was very professional. And she handed me her card, her business card, because at the time she was running a company called Carol Co. Pictures, where she made a lot of movies with that company. So really, it was me just going, hey, I want to act in your movies. And she's like, here's my card. And so I got to dig it out someday because it'd be hilarious to say, yeah, I did meet you. Look, here's your card. So.
I have a vague memory. It was very quick. And I remember
it was super quick,
very sweet. And then we started Victor Crowley soon after. So it all works out the way it's supposed to, but that's beautiful that the two of you met and you have this amazing podcast. And I think that's what's so great about the community. It's like anything is possible and we all support each other and we all love each other. And, we want to help the next person, like whether it's, I've met more filmmakers, as I said, friends, promoters, and it's just like, a great universe of people who take care of one another.
Yeah.
Just to step in here about this weekend's Horrorville, and it's in Cocoa Beach, Florida. For anyone listening, I don't know if this is going to air in time.
And it's at the Space Coast Convention.
Yeah.
At
the Space Coast.
We're going to be doing astronaut training. I wanted to surprise her with that.
Oh boy.
We have to repair the Hubble telescope. But no, just the difference between and there are so many different types of conventions, and you brought up Spooky Empire, and that is a very large convention in terms of horror conventions, and it's very mainstream in terms of the signers and the guests, but we love these smaller ones and these sort of newer ones. This one, I think, is more of a celebration of independent horror. If you look at the lineup, there's a lot of independent directors and independent actors that are, don't have a major film like a Sleepaway Camp or a scary movie. But I know there's fans out there that this is an opportunity to go and talk with actors and directors. If you're looking to even break into the business and stuff like that, this is a great show to go to and talk to people. So.
Yep. Yeah, we're very excited and thrilled to be a part of Horrorville this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to be running the panels this weekend.
So we'll see you again.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to hug you.
I will just become a puddle after that happens. I'm going to have to swim away.
I can't believe I'm hearing that you were too shy to come up and meet Felissa when she is out of everyone on the circuit, out of all the actresses and actors, she's the most like welcoming, the most loving person to meet. And if anyone out there is hearing this, please come up to her table and say hi. You know, it's going to change your life.
Oh yeah, Dave.
Changed mine.
That's more of a me thing. It's not her at all. I've seen her from afar and up close, and I agree with everything that you said about her. She is fantastic. It's one of those things where the first time I had watched Sleepaway Camp, I was probably in my early 20s, believe it or not, and I was with my sister, who at the time may have been like 12, and it was like a late night. I believe AMC used to have like a Fear Friday or something.
Yeah, Fear Fest or something.
Yeah, like Fear Fest. And they had played the movie, and I was astonished that I had never seen it before, because I've been in love with horror films since, goodness, so I can remember 8 or 9 years old. And it's just one of those things where I'm like starstruck, you know, and it's like, this is someone that I love. And now I share this connection with my sister. That's like one of our all-time favorite horror films.
Wow, that's awesome.
So it's like, oh my gosh, you know. So I'm very thrilled and honored to be speaking with both of you. Because
I'm very thrilled and honored to be speaking with you, because I want to jump through my phone right now and just like hug you and embrace you, and I do get very emotional at my table, and I am right now. And Dave knows this, because I'll come like back to the hotel from a show, and I just need to like cry, like a happy cry, but to process how much I appreciate you and like how grateful I am for what you just said. You will never understand what it's done to me. It's had a very profound effect on my life, and I appreciate you, and I want you to know you've done the same for me. Thank you. You have no idea
so sweet.
Like how thankful I am.
Thank
it is
you.
True. Will your sister be coming as well?
Will your sister be there? Will not be coming. I asked her if she wanted to join the thing, and she was like, "You should have told me 2 weeks ago. I can't prep for that." Like she was an emotional mess. We're both Pisces. I don't know if you're into astrology or anything. So we're like,
I am totally. Dave's a Pisces. My mom's a Pisces. My daughter's a Pisces.
Admit it.
I love Pisces. Yeah, I love it. We're gonna have to FaceTime her. Okay, I'm FaceTiming her.
So when's your birthday? Then?
February 21st.
Ooh, you're right. You're kind of a cusp.
My mom's February 20th. I love you, Pisces. You're like my favorite sign. Oh, I love Pisces.
Thank you. Now, I have a question for you, Felissa, because as I started a horror society, so to speak, here in Orlando. And years ago, that's how I met Shad, because I had a table set up at the convention. And I'm a Hispanic woman. And, you know, I wanted to start a conversation with people. I am kind of introverted, and that's why I wanted to open up the community and have, you know, people get together and just, you know, discuss film and the pop culture and all of it. As a woman yourself in today's industry, I'm like thrilled. And I know that you have, you know, you are producing and have produced, and you do have a hand in the creative process. Do you have any advice for women out there that are seeking to do that, as many more have done? And I wouldn't say in the last like 5 years, it's become more of a common thing to see women as a writer, director, producer.
I want to say, do it. I can't even in fact, I would like to introduce you. My best friend lives in Tampa. She, is a female writer, director, producer, ambitious, passionate, magnificent woman. I want to say, just find your group. We're all out there, whether it's an online, you know, circle of friends that you meet, or in any kind of group. If it's a knitting group or a cooking group, find people who have the same passion and create and do it. And the one thing I will say is never let anyone tell you you can, or, it's just not feasible, whether it's your age or whatnot. Who can I curse? Who gives beep? Because I've been told a lot of things in my life. You can't do this, or you shouldn't do this, or you're too old or too. I will never, dream the biggest dream you can believe, because you're the one creating it and you're the one who will manifest it and make it come alive. And even with me, we need to create something together, right? From this podcast, the two of us chatting, we will make something happen. Like, that's all it is. It's just, it starts with the conversation, and it's limitless. The dreams are bigger and brighter and more magnificent the more you give it momentum. So that's all I can say, is just find people, reach out to anyone. Anyone can reach out to me. I say that all the time. I say it on my podcast. I say it when I'm on cameos, anything I'm doing. I want to help support and breathe life into anybody else's wants and needs and dreams. So it's very important we keep each other elevated and inspired.
Awesome.
I have a question for Dave. One of my favorite shows from the 90s was Buzzkill.
Oh, thank you.
And I don't know if people now realize how much it kind of paved the way for other reality shows like Jackass and other things. But
Practical Jokers.
Yeah, and the Impractical Jokers, a lot of that stuff can be taken back from you guys. And I just wondered how you got involved with it. And do they have those available now, like on DVD or streaming anywhere?
Well, first off, they're not available. I have I own the master tapes, and it there was a point where, because it ended in the mid 90s, where there really wasn't an output to put them. And then I did have them on a DVD at one point right after the series ended. But once YouTube sort of exploded, everyone was like, put them on YouTube. And then it got so far along that I felt like, I'm not going to put them out, because I just felt like, I know people want to see them, but I also felt like it's sort of enjoyable. Like, honestly, they don't hold up, in my opinion. So I was like, I don't want people to be disappointed when they see like that it maybe wasn't that great. So I've held off on putting them out, but I think they are going to, at some point I'll get around to because they're on tape, and I got to find another guy that would have like the D1 master player. I don't even know if they have D1s anymore, and put them out. But
Dave, they're awesome. I've watched some recently. They're so great. And you know what? Similarly to horror movies, the sentimental value holds up and is so exciting for people to look back and remember that time. That's a great question, Shad, because I hadn't even thought about. Yes, put that out there. Oh my gosh, that's brilliant.
I would love to see it again.
Yeah, Dave, you have already your first customer. Shad's ready to buy it.
To answer the second part of your question, was how did that all come about? Was early on, when after I worked at Saturday Night Live right out of college, like that would have been like 90, 91. And then I went to Second City. Chris Farley hooked me up at the Second City in Chicago. And while I was at the Second City, that's primarily an improv theater, but I did a one-man show there. And I basically was the person that put in these projectors and television panels in Second City now, that I'm sure they've upgraded it since, but I utilized a sort of like, you would watch videos and then you would watch live theater. And so I was shooting a bunch of funny shorts constantly with my characters. And then that was cut into a pilot called Dave Sheridan's America. And that was then, shopped around in MTV, and both Fox and MTV bidded on it. And I chose MTV because I knew it would be less money and less budget, but they were a channel at the time that was getting into programming. They were just starting like The Real World and stuff like that. They were leaving music videos. And at the same time, they also didn't have that much money. So if they spent money to say, shoot 6 episodes, they would air those 6 episodes, where Fox had enough money to go, that's not working, and you only got 1 episode on the air. So I think I made the right choice for sure, in terms of when you see what came out of it, which was Tom Green and Punk'd, and then Jackass, and, like she said, Impractical Jokers and Spy TV, and even Betty White, Off Your Rocker. I worked on that. I've worked on pretty much, whether I did the voice, I was the original voice on Punk'd. If you listen to the voice on, I was the announcer on that. And with Jackass, I basically, they called me as an advisor to what to do and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been involved with so many. One of the two that I think are one was Scare Tactics on the Sci-Fi Channel. I don't know if you guys saw that one.
Oh yeah,
yes.
On that show.
Huge fan.
Oh my gosh, I had so much fun on that show. And then another one that was very rare. It was only 3 episodes before it got canceled, and that was on Fox. It was called Smile, You're Under Arrest, where I was deputized by Sheriff Joe Arpaio in Phoenix, Arizona, and we basically ran these like sting operations for felons, but they would be run through these really funny pranks, and at the end they would get arrested. And I'm glad it got canceled, because the best part was this, they were getting let off in handcuffs. They were like, I don't know anybody here except for you, Sheridan. I know you, and I'm going to get you. And I was like, oh my God, what am I doing?
Maybe not the one you want to have coming after you later to meet you at the convention.
Yeah. But I do know that Smile, You're Under Arrest is available somewhere. I know that you could Google it and find the 3 episodes. It's pretty funny. So.
Can you guys remember the first jump scare you ever experienced? Whether it was something you were watching something or you were a part of the jump scare?
Felissa, I'll let you go first.
Oh, that's a really good question. My first real jump scare. I mean, my favorite horror movie is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I'd have to say, like, it was definitely while watching that, I was just blown away by the, insanity and the torture, if you will. So it was, everything that happened to Marilyn Burns made me jump and definitely feel completely, scared. That was a scary movie for me. So I would say that moment watching that film was my most, jumping out of my chair. And I was pretty young, so the whole movie was terrifying. I think the performances in that film are absolutely mesmerizing.
Yeah,
Great
they're
movie.
so raw, and like
the whole movie is raw.
I can't watch it. I've literally probably have only seen it, and everyone don't send me hate mail. Probably 2 times in my life, because it's a lot. Like, I'm like, oh, I know this. I know these people are alive. Like, they're fine and they're acting, but it's just such a raw performance, and it's so.
It really is
gruesome.
I thought her performance, Marilyn Burns' performance, is one of the most extraordinary female, let's say, quote unquote, scream queen performances ever. And I always say Ed Neal, as well as The Hitchhiker, is just gritty and gruesome and mean, and he's like the most lovable, sweetest person ever. So it just, kudos to that. His acting was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
What about you, Dave? What's yours?
Okay, so I think for me, like, prior to kindergarten, like, I probably wouldn't know what a jump scare was. So, but the 3 movies that I watched that I considered horror movies, even though they really weren't horror movies, was Scrooge. The Christmas Carol. So there was I was scared at moments with the Ghost of Christmas Past and stuff. And then Wizard of Oz definitely had some scary moments, and might have been a jump scare in there, but I don't know.
The monkeys. I was
yeah. And then I loved Omega Man when I was in preschool. I watched that a bunch of times. But I think once I got into seeing movies in the movie theater, I went to Jaws when I was in 1st grade, maybe, or something like that. And that's when I started to understand more about setups. And, I've always watched films as a filmmaker type of thing, even back at that age. So I think when Richard Dreyfuss was going down underneath the water at night and with the light, and then saw the body face or whatever, and he himself was jump scared, so.
You're
that
so funny with the setups. Like, how old are you?
Yeah.
That's great.
I think Felissa knows this. I went to set I went to the Jaws set when I was a kid and I saw the shark. I saw the shark in the water and everything. It was cool.
Which is so funny. Yeah. Because I saw the shark recently.
And then she saw it. That's right.
Yeah. Just within the past couple of years, Greg Nicotero, who's a good friend of mine, was like sort of refurbishing Bruce the shark.
Yeah.
He did for the movie, the Motion Picture Academy Museum, and he took me. He said, "Oh, we were having lunch." He said, "Hey, I have a surprise for you," and I said, "What?" And suddenly, a garage door, it was like this big warehouse, and the door was lifted, and there was the shark, and I was like, "What is happening right now? This is like the craziest moment in my life. How did this happen?" So yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Hey, by the way, just to take a reverse on the astrology sign, I really never thought about Felissa's sign and how fitting it is with Sleepaway Camp. So I was wondering if you could guess what her sign is, because it does have a little tie into Sleepaway Camp.
That's interesting. I never even thought about that, and you never even said that to me.
Gemini.
Yes, I am a Gemini, and I am a true Gemini. But I know a lot of people think good and bad twin with Gemini, and I actually tell people my Gemini is very introverted and quiet, and extroverted and loud. I could be a true homebody, and I don't want to leave the house, and I love to just kind of cuddle with my kids, or I'm like, let's dance on the bar and sing karaoke and be crazy, so and Dave knows both those.
Yeah, I do.
Both those sides. You're like, I prefer the quiet one.
Yeah, when's the quiet one? I don't.
Yeah.
I guess I got to come over your house. Never been there.
The quiet.
Now that
very often.
You don't get the quiet. You don't get the quiet Felissa very often, huh?
That's the Danny DeVito twin, I guess. I get the Arnold Schwarzenegger version.
So for Felissa, I was just wondering, how did you get involved with the last drive-in when you were talking about horror community and everything? That was something that everyone really kind of rallied around when it came back out. And it was great to see you involved with it when he called you on the phone the first time. And we saw you just recently on the newest one where you were in the background, manning the phones, manning the phones and that. Yeah, for the Christmas one.
And Dave's in the Christmas special as well.
Oh,
he's the gorilla.
Oh, you're the gorilla.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
His name is Steve Wilcox. It was a very developed character. It's probably one of the hardest characters I've ever played. I did a lot of research for it. I spent a whole summer in the Congo.
It was very convincing.
Thank you.
Fortunately, one of my dear friends is Joe Bob Briggs, who I love so much. There's just not enough time or words to express how much I care about him and our friendship. And when he was first contacted by Shudder to do the marathon in July of, I think it was 2018. 2018. It was supposed to be a one-off, and they were doing the marathon with, I think 13 films over the course of 24 hours. Yeah. And they said, "Oh, well, why don't you have a guest?" And he's like, "Okay, I'll call Felissa. I'm sure she'd be down for it." And he called and said, "Hey, can you come and hang out and do this?" And I was like, "Oh my God, yeah, so fun, so great." And I went to where the studio they were filming, and suddenly I realized what I got myself into. I thought it was myself and my buddy Joe Bob, and it was like, the whole team and the crew, and I thought, holy shit. And right before we went on live, he looked at me and said, "Now, don't you say anything you've ever said in any interview ever before. So just make it really natural and authentic, and come out with anything you want to say and make it, truthful." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And they're like, "And here's Felissa Rose." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I guess I should talk about how many cocktails I love to drink at conventions." And, so we wound up having a blast. And fortunately, it was, he crashed the internet, and it was a super success for him, the marathon. And I became very friendly with Darcy. She became a dear friend, and we were all like a team. And then I saw him very soon after at Scarefest, a convention, and I congratulated him, and I was so thrilled. And he said, well, you know what? I'd love to have you like kind of hang out on the show with us from time to time. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. And he said, I kind of thought, you know, it would be cool if you were our mangled dick expert. And I was like, I'm crying. This is the most magical, magnificent moment in my life. And I meant it, because as funny as it is, and I just, the thought that Joe Bob would, you know, sort of include me in that way was just really, really wonderful. And who knew there were so many mangled dicks in so many films? So now he's starting season 4, and it's been nothing but the most amazing adventure. So I love them, and I'm very thankful for it.
He's a smart man. He makes some smart choices. And it was very similar to how he asked me to be on the show, but a little different. He just said, can you just put that gorilla suit on? And just
We work with them quite a bit. We actually, Dave and I worked on a film called Lady Killer, written and directed by our dear friend Jeremy Spencer, who's he was the drummer in Five Finger Death Punch, and he wanted to write a crazy anthology. And I play this character, Lady Killer. And in one of the episodes, Dave is my husband, Joe Bob is my brother, and Darcy is my niece and Joe Bob's daughter. So, and then we did the Joe Bob haunt during the pandemic. We went to drive-ins and showed like these great short films for Halloween. So we sort of have like this, the four of us are super connected and really dear friends.
Yeah, we've had some fun adventures, so to speak. It's been nice.
Yeah, we have.
So what are some of the projects that you guys either have wrapped up or will be coming out later on this year or future years to come? Give me all the spiel.
Oh, Dave has a lot. Dave just did something extraordinary. So I don't know how much you can talk about it, but.
I'll just say a little bit about that one. It's tentatively titled Boo, but they change titles all the time, but, and that'll be either on Netflix or in theaters this coming Halloween. And it takes place at Halloween. It's another type of scary movie. You know, it's with Marlon Wayans, and the only thing I can really say about it is that it takes place Halloween night, and it's about the lawn ornaments, all these crazy giant. You know, they're getting crazier and crazier and bigger, and they're automated, and they talk and they breathe smoke and light up and move, and they all come alive and start to attack the trick-or-treaters, and the parents have to sort of protect the block and, you know, use the rakes and the weed whackers to, you know, whatever they got to sort of fend off and defeat the lawn ornaments on a Halloween night. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I look forward to seeing it for sure. And Felissa and I have done, like we said earlier, 28 films together, TV shows, and she's produced, 28 of those. so I have an inside hookup to get into the movies that she makes. But yeah. So
you know what? When you find people like the two of you found each other, when you find people you love to work with, why wouldn't you continue? You know, it's a safe environment and it's a fun playground, and I love to work with my friends, and we have a group of people we've been working with. We just did a movie called Time's Up. Well, that was 1 year ago, and the trailer dropped recently, and that will be out in 2022. And then we did Dark Circles with the same team. And then we were fortunate. I worked on Terrifier 2 with the Fuzz on the Lens got producers, and I absolutely am crazy about them and Damien Leone. And Dave and I worked on another film they produced called Stream coming out. Yeah,
that's going to be great.
It's great. And
great cast too.
And it's people who love this genre and love they're passionate about the script and the cast and Stream alone, the cast is so outrageous. It's like Daniel Harris and Dee Wallace, Jeffrey Combs, Tim Reed, Daniel Roebuck, Dave Sheridan. It's such a crazy cast. And David Howard Thornton, that you're just like, how what spaceship took me to this happy land? So I love a lot of the films we have coming out are fantastic. We also, Dave and I did a movie called Bloody Summer Camp, and I just worked on their next feature called Go Away, and that was.
Oh, I think we lost you there.
And can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, no, I decided to. We're working on a new movie called Maniac Mountain. We have Go Away coming out. So there's a lot of fun stuff in the pipeline. And we're just grateful to, have the opportunity to work with such fantastic filmmakers and work on films that are super fun and really just great scripts and great cast.
Yep.
We are excited and looking forward to all of your future projects. Mm-hmm. And
thank you so much.
You're welcome. I saw the trailer for the Time's Up, and that Father Time mask is terrifying.
It's so scary. I know.
And I love themed holiday, especially something that's not the ordinary, as it's New Year's Eve in this film. So
right.
I'm all about it. I'm like, yes, a New Year's Eve horror film. There's not a lot, maybe like 7 if I had to think off the top of my head.
We don't have exactly. And it's like when we first started talking about it, I was like, yes, let's do this. It's scary. We filmed in Maine in the middle of the pandemic in snow. I don't know what we were thinking, but certainly we had a great time. Dave and I were in Maine, and we play the cops in the movie, and we just, it got silly because we get silly when we're working. It's like straight up real slasher, hardcore, like, nothing humorous in the movie. It's not like Victor Crowley or anything. And we're like cracking jokes as the cops. Like, it's always fun to work with Dave. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, well, this weekend, be sure to come out to Horrorville to see Felissa and Dave. They'll be there all weekend, signing autographs, taking pictures, and we'll be doing a panel with them on Saturday, I believe.
Yay!
Awesome.
Yeah, so be sure and come out and see us all there. We'll all be there and having a good time.
And stay tuned to the... Oh, go ahead. I'm so sorry, guys.
I just want to plug another one in Florida. It's called Tampa Bay Screams, and that'll be, I think it's like June 10th. And 11th or somewhere in there, and that's another
Spookala.
Great little. And Spookala is in May, maybe, or August. I don't know.
That's in May. Yeah, May 3rd.
Yeah, that's a first time on Spookala, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's the first time. Yeah,
that's a great lineup.
Yeah, Tampa Bay Screams. We've been to that one a couple of times, and we always have fun there. And but yeah, we're looking forward to Spookala. They've got a lot of interesting guests.
Yeah, that's they're really going to promote that one big, so it's going to be fun. So,
our buddy Tom Matthews is there, and he's such a great person. Come see all of us.
Oh yeah, I want to see him. He was so amazing in Friday the 13th.
He's so fantastic. We just want to hug everyone and talk horror movies. So come out, have a blast. Like, just, if you've never been to a convention, you will be hooked. Like Dave said, it's just, you can't even describe the energy in the room is palpable, and everyone is there for the love of our horror movies. So come see us.
Yeah, and I think Doofy might make an appearance there. So
cool.
Okay. Show on up. Smell my finger.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. We're honored and we really appreciate it, and it's been fantastic talking with you. And for all of you guys out there, stay tuned to the horror.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.